parkour craze hit Britain in 2004 with Mike Christie's documentary Jump London, followed subsequently by a second, Jump Britain. This starred the recognised founder and ambassador for parkour, Sebastian Foucan. Since then, groups have started up all over the UK, and it's become a much more recognised activity. Northern Parkour is based in Manchester and welcomes members of all ages and abilities. One of the aims of Northern Parkour is to promote the friendly, cooperative and non-competitive spirit of parkour. But what is parkour?
It's something in its own right, really, parkour. Obviously, because people look for a means of categorising it, it's often been called a sport or an extreme sport or a daredevil craze in the past in the media, which is really inaccurate. Really, it's a philosophy and a way of living that we go by. And I've been practicing it regularly ever since, so at least two or three times a week, and I like to try and stay fit with it. The first thing that I saw about parkour was a Channel 4 documentary about 3 years ago, and I saw the French guys doing it. I thought, that's amazing, because I had a prior interest in some martial arts and that kind of physical thing, but I'd never really done anything about it. And I remember thinking, this is amazing, I want to do this, but at the time I never really thought it was something accessible that I could do. And it wasn't until 6 months later that I saw the follow-up documentary when I thought, that's what I want to do, and I've been doing it ever since. Well, we practice parkour in Manchester on a regular basis 3 times a week. So Tuesday and Thursday nights after work or school for some of the younger guys, and then all day Saturday, and then we've also got the option of a gym session on Sunday evenings as well. So 3 times minimum, sometimes 4. People often ask us how fit they need to be to practice parkour. And sometimes we get people on the forums, on the internet saying, I want to try it, but I'm not in shape. But really, yes, you do have to be in shape to do things, at a certain level. But anybody can get into it at the most basic level. Practicing a basic jump or a cat leap or whatever, you can really build it up. So even if you're not in great shape, there's something that everybody can do and slowly progress. And with the progression comes the fitness. Personally, I've never had any major injuries. The worst one was probably when I was over in France, when I managed to fall out of a tree. I was hanging from a branch and then I slipped and cut my elbow. It wasn't really that bad, but it left a little scar. It seemed bad at the time, but we're usually quite careful, so I've avoided injuries, but I've seen a few fractures and nasty things like that. Yeah, as well as parkour, I work as a sound engineer. So my main 2 interests are sound engineering and training. So if I'm not in the studio, then I'm out on the street jumping around. That's all I do.
In the summer of 2005 with some friends, because we saw a big documentary called Jump Britain, which had a load of freerunners in, and we all just started jumping around school really, and then some people stopped, and then I just took it more seriously and found websites like this one, and then just started to learn more about the discipline and start training more seriously, and now I'm here now, so about a year and a half, just over. I was sponsored by a team called Urban Free Flow, which is a big group of freerunners and trusters. So people are going to want to use it for documentaries and adverts, and there needs to be somebody there to say, yeah, we'll do what he wants to do, so that's what they do. Well, trusters who practice parkour would think of the most efficient way to get from A to B, so they'd think of the fastest way to go under there, over there, through this, to get to where they want to be, which could be over a wall. And then they'd think, yes, I'll do this really, really quickly. And while a freerunner would think, what's the most aesthetically pleasing kind of way, since they're all more artists, they want to create something which looks really, really good. So they'll think, right, I'll spin over this, flip over this, I'll do a really cool move under that, and they'll all make it flow really neatly together. So there are some similarities, how they are kind of moving through an environment, but one is a lot more, it's like they don't really move from A to B freerunners, they kind of move around something and eventually get somewhere. So I'm always thinking of the efficient way, but when everybody starts, they usually don't really know. So I guess everybody starts off doing freerunning because it's very rarely that somebody grasps the kind of philosophy of parkour, because it's very, very complicated. There's lots of mental aspects to it, as well as just physical strength and flexibility. So it's kind of complicated, but I can sit here hours talking about the philosophy and you'd all get bored and shoot yourselves. Yeah, well, my family's quite supportive, especially my mum and dad, because they drive me to places and allow me to do media opportunities and stuff. And yeah, they're really supportive. They like me doing it. My mum's doing a nutritional therapy degree, so she like helps me with my diet. And then one of our friends is a yoga instructor, so she teaches me some moves to like improve my flexibility and strength. My friends don't really talk about it much. It's just like some people do skateboarding, I do parkour really, so it's just another activity really.
There is no doubt that parkour is growing and will soon be known to everyone. The newest Bond film, Casino Royale, features a high-impact parkour sequence, with Bond chasing a character played fittingly by Sebastian Foucan. With the recent release of a parkour game, you can clearly see the impact that it's had on our society in such a short period of time.